Hey guys, it's me, SteveWB, and welcome to my live. Yes, finally, SteveWB has decided to go live for the first time ever in his life. So don't be too harsh. But I have a very special treat for my first ever live. I have a gentleman named Danny Black. I'm sure a lot of you, since we all are into GoPros and action cameras, have seen his channel. He's the American that lives in Australia. He did a lot of time on cruise ships and traveling the world by sea, and we're going to bring in Mr. Black right out the gate.
Hello,
Welcome to the
hello.
show.
Thanks for having me. I like that you said I did time on a cruise ship, like this prison. I did my due diligence there. You know, I feel like I'm a better man from it.
Absolutely. Now, the topic that we chose for tonight is we're going to talk about the Action2, of course, and the GoPro Hero 10. And one of the big things that's been a topic recently for just like the GoPro 10, are you having like any kind of issues whatsoever with the GoPro 10 with all these updates that they've been throwing out? Because I have.
No, honestly, I have not. I haven't. I have had. I got an email recently that was like, "Hey, I'm trying to buy. I just bought the GoPro with 2 Enduro batteries, and I'm trying to buy 2 more, but I'm like in Finland. It's not shipping. They're not shipping. I don't know. I was like, hey, listen, I think you might have to buy. Like, they only sell 2 per GoPro purchase." And then he wrote back to me and was just like, "You mean I wasted my money because I'm like, whoa, first of all, I'm not your, I guess I'm a GoPro person, but I don't work for them. And I'm not here to like be yelled at. Also, the original batteries are perfectly fine. The Enduro maybe has a little bit better, like a tiny fraction of a bit better performance. And the battery life is a little bit better, but it's not like substantial. It's not going to change everything. It doesn't make the GoPro suck. So it's weird that, yeah. So sorry to I don't know if I got a topic too much, but I have not experienced anything bad. The only thing that I've experienced bad is when the beta came out for the update, and I did the beta update using the SD card, and then my SD card died. Like something happened with it and it died from that. Other than that, everything's been fine.
Okay. Well, I mean, I've had issues like we were at SeaWorld. I got distracted by my monitor. But anyway, I was at SeaWorld, and I was trying to make a video to where I wanted to, because they have a brand new roller coaster here in Florida. It's called Icebreaker. And I wanted to post a video and the video was going to be about the GoPro stamps because I wanted to get the G forces, the speed, and all this stuff off this roller coaster.
Yeah, cool.
Because I thought, well, that'd be a cool video, right? And
Yeah.
My GoPro 10, every time I would turn it on, it was like it would show 100%, like it's fully charged. And then if you swipe screens or whatever, it dropped to like 40%. And then you swipe screens again, and go to 80% battery. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, is the battery good? Is the battery bad?
That's, you know what that is? That is so they've gotten smarter with their indicator, and what it is if you're shooting at 5K, it's saying if at 5K this is how much battery you have. So if you swiped over to time lapse, it's saying, oh, now you have 80% battery life because that takes up less power at your settings and photo as well. So that's why it's jumping up and down. It's because you're changing between settings. And if you turn on your Wi-Fi or if you do something like that, that's also going to be an extra load on your battery. So your percentage will drop down a bit. So I think that's actually normal. It feels different because they never did that before. And so now people are going, wait, batteries all over the place because it never happened. But it's nice to know, okay, I only have an hour left of this thing that I'm doing. If I shoot this in 5K, I only have 30 minutes. But if I shoot it in 4K, I have an hour. I can actually achieve that. Something like that. It gives you a little bit more of an indication there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like the issue I was having is when I would turn it on, it would say 100% on video mode. And then if I swiped over to photo and then went back to video, well, then the video mode would show like 80%. You know what I mean? Like
and that's what it is.
It showed 100%, like right off the
right.
gate.
Oh, well, yeah. No, I guess I see what you're saying. Depends on, yeah. Wow. If you go from 100, like a fully charged battery, and you just pop it on in video mode, yeah, I don't know. I'm
Right.
sure that there's something with that, with the settings.
It's probably me. I'm just electric. But anyway, I did. And you have the Action2 as well. I had mine until yesterday. I sent mine back yesterday. I took, when you're the small creator, I took advantage of, I bought it in October, and then I had all the way until the end of January to return it through Amazon. And
Yeah.
the two reasons that I returned it is, one, it sat on the shelf almost the entire time because I have so many other cameras. So it didn't get my attention enough to where I felt like I had to grab it. And then second was I brought it to SeaWorld as well. And I was filming my family vlog with it. And I kept having problems like, when I was editing that video, the sound would go, like when the wind would blow, it would go from stereo to mono in my headphones. Like the sound would completely drop out of one headphone and I would only have it in one.
Oh, interesting.
And I was like, oh, that's kind of weird, like I don't like having to, go into, because I use Resolve. So then you got to go into Fairlight and you got to try to fix all that and double your audio up and
do a mono
extra steps I don't want to take.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an interesting thing. And even as a creator, I mean, it's a lot of people aren't searching for this camera to watch videos about it. Like, I think that, and it's interesting that people do cling on to it. Some people just love this thing, which is fine. I mean, it's okay. There's many things I don't like about it. Way more things I don't like about it than things I like about it. And especially comparing it to like the GoPro Hero 10. But Ulanzi just released a bunch of accessories that are pretty cool. They're sending me to review for the Action2, which might help me like it a little bit more. There's like one of the things is, there's an attachment that can just go on this that would go to your selfie stick or whatever. And that one actually has a charger port into it. So like you can have that plugged in to a power bank instead of having to rely on something like this. Cool things I definitely want to try out, but yeah, it's an interesting idea that they came up with, but I don't think if it was half the price, I feel like we'd be talking a completely different, we'd be singing the praises about this if it was half the price. I just think that they priced themselves out like GoPro did with their like session when it came out. They like overpriced it so much that everyone was just complaining about it. Anyway.
Absolutely. And like the Action2, it's an extremely, I call it a charismatic camera. You know what I mean? It's like I had it. I really liked it. And it was a real struggle to like return it. It's like, I just like it, like I had such a good experience with the Osmo Action. But then, when you start putting the thoughts to it, like, well, Osmo Action's 4K and is a beautifully done camera, in my opinion. And then the Action2 is 4K, and I don't need double the frame rates. I have 240 on the GoPro. And the one thing though that almost made me keep that camera was the fact that I hooked it up and was testing as a webcam for this live stream. Have you done that yet? That thing is like amazing, and it like takes in the whole entire room. You're like, holy cow,
it's not bad it's an expensive webcam. You can say it that way. If that's all you're using it for, I think that there's better webcams out there that are cheaper. But I mean, it as a small device, if you're only using this bit, I mean, it was cool. Like you can hook this on your guitar, and it doesn't weigh it down at all. There's a lot of other things like putting this like on an RC car is pretty cool. But for vlogging purposes, I'm not a fan of it for vlogging, more so because it has this weird warp to it. And now listen, I'm not the skinniest guy. I try. I'm actually going to the gym now a lot and working my way, but like it gives you this weird warp down here to make your body look way bigger. It's like, and it's odd, and it makes you go like, oh, I don't know, but
yeah, you just film the arms, you keep it up.
Yeah, even the chest. It's like, oh man, my boobs are really saggy today. It just does a weird warping effect, and I've had some friends watch some of the footage, and they go like, I can't, like they can't watch it because the warp is just too weird for them and then even that's with the D-warp turned on. Yeah. Also, hello to your chat, by the way. It looks like you got some great people in your chat. I would love to know where is everybody watching from?
Everybody?
Do you know where they're watching from?
Dang, Ohio Fred. You didn't have to do that, buddy.
$5.
I know, right? I feel special. My first ever money on a chat. Dang.
And that's beard love.
I know.
Look at that. They're coming in. Tom's hitting it too.
Dang.
Mississippi. Christian Bennett.
That's my son. My first son from my first marriage. I would say first love, but that wasn't true. But
so second love. First son from your second love marriage.
Right.
Well, hello,
Tom,
Christian.
thank you very much for my second ever. But here's a quick experience that I had with the Action2 is, so I get on the roller coaster, right? This is a quick story. I don't want to drag this out. I'll cut all my stories out of my
Wait, this is Action2 talk or GoPro?
Yes.
Because I thought you said you had a problem with the GoPro on.
No, I had them both.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
Because I'm like doubling up. I had the Action2 on my chest. So I wait in line. I wait for a front row seat, right? And I have the Action2 on my chest. I got my GoPro 10 in my hand. SeaWorld's policy is you got to have a wrist strap. So they didn't specify what kind of wrist strap. So I got this wrist strap. I wait extra time to get a front row seat so I can get the footage with the Action2. What happens? They see my wrist strap. I get in an argument with the people. They say, oh, it's inadequate. It's got to be a Velcro. I'm like, well, nobody told me coming here. And now I've waited in line for an hour. You know what I mean? This whole thing.
Yeah.
So finally I concede and give up the GoPro. And I was like, well, I still got the Action2. They didn't say anything about that. This was a problem that I had with the Action2 on the ride is as I was going around the coaster, I had the horizon steady on in 2.7K. When the coaster did a crazy twist, the camera actually flipped upside down on me and would flip back. And I'm like,
the camera or the image?
The image.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Because it's one of those coasters, you never go upside down. You know, you kind of do a pretty good.
Oh, because turn. It's got did you have it on the 45-degree leveling?
Yeah. Well, it was 2.7K HS. And I think that's the horizon steady.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it does that. It does that where it's not like it goes up to, I think it's like 180 degrees and then it flips it if it just goes past that point. So yeah, it's so
that was my fault. Which one do you put it in to keep so where when you go all the way upside down, it keeps the horizon all the way around? I think it has that capability.
I thought that's what that was. I'll have to double check. I know that with the GoPro, you can only do that with the max lens mode. But I don't think that. Yeah, I believe that horizon leveling. I'll have to double check in a second. I'll look it up.
That's no big deal. So
I believe it's it's 180 degrees. So as soon as you go past 180 degrees, I think that's what it is, and then it flips. It flips for you, but so it's not like a max lens mod.
Well, we have my Sea Prince. He is from the UK. Welcome all the way from the pond on the other side. You have, let's show Donna here. Donna, she has a really nice business channel. She's a self-entrepreneur, and she's just now getting her channel going. And she likes to give advice on things like buying a home and, you know, the steps that you're going to go through and what to expect. Because as she's experiencing these things, she likes to share them with others just so that they can be prepared for what they're getting into. And then I don't know who this lady is. This is a stalker right here.
Is that your wife?
That's
guessing.
My wife.
Because your last name's Bennett, right?
I know it gives it away every time. My lovely wife. She's in the living room, probably laughing at me right now.
Oh,
as a good wife would.
My wife definitely jumps. Actually, my wife doesn't pay that much attention to my live stream. She'll be like, she'll pop in and say hi, and then she's out. It's like my mom and my dad would probably be in like for a longer period. Like their names are, it says like Paul Black, and it's just like, oh, you can't just be like, oh, that's just some random guy.
Right. Now, if
the original Mr. Black,
right, the OG. If anybody has a question for Danny whatsoever, he's a musician and a YouTube extraordinaire. I think he's going to be around 80 to 100K by the end of the year because His channel is
That'd be
just
amazing.
so well put together. He's got a schedule that he
that.
uploads on. He has dedicated like Tech Tuesdays and talk a little bit about your channel, Danny. Let everybody know.
Well, it's always hard to say out loud a schedule because schedules can be forever changing. But I definitely have enforced like my 30-second Thursdays, which are usually about 3 minutes, but I just like to call it, it sounds more fun, 30-second Thursday than 3-minute Thursday. A short, not short product review. That's like when I get a product that I feel like you don't need to go out and really make a big fuss about it. It's just like, here's the product. Let me show you, all like, an overhead shot. And then, now I actually just, once I have the reaction videos that I started doing where I'm reacting to different, either GoPro clips or different things that people send to me. And a new one is the giveaways. So I feel like this might be a thing coming up like every Tuesdays. I was doing a live stream once a month doing giveaways, and ironically, you're doing a live stream, which is great. But for me, I feel like the channel doesn't for my channel doesn't really help. Live streams don't help that much as far as engagement, because you can have a long live stream and it's great to help grow a community, but just like once it's done, it's kind of done. You don't get a lot of people coming back. Like this topic we're talking about with Action2 versus GoPro, that's something people might come back and click on. But like as far as like a giveaway or an unboxing, it's like once it's done, it's done. So I started doing where I give away, like I make a video where I do the giveaway. And now I say, okay, in 1 week, if those people don't claim it, which they haven't yet, in 1 week,
I got a chance still.
Yeah. Well, that's the cool part. It's like, it's almost like encouraging people to, for one, watch the video so that they can enter the giveaways. And for two, keep coming back, because if the names didn't get called, I'm redrawing. And if you don't see it and you don't contact me, well, you're forfeited. And that makes it it just makes it more fun. It makes you have to put some skin in the game, maybe not monetary skin, but it's your own time. So that's that's fun. Thanks. Thanks for the sub, Ohio Fred, and mind your own business. Thank you for checking out my channel. I hope you
absolutely you're going to love his channel. And that's one of the things I liked about Danny's channel when I first came across it was, and I was watching and he's like, yeah, I just got this from Newer or whoever. And he goes, you know what? I told him send me 2 because I want to give one away. And they did. Like, he tells them like, well, if you're going to send me 1, send me 3, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you pass it right along to your subs. And
well, I have one coming up. I have one coming up, and I'm not going to tell you when it's happening, but I worked it out. So it's a light review, and they sent me 2, but then instead of giving one away, because it is annoying to have to ship it from me, like when they're going to ship it anyways, it's like, well, we'll do the giveaway, then you ship that out instead of to me, ship it to whoever wins. But I have to work this out, because this is what they said, and I'm not sure how it's going to work out, but I'm going to say the first 3 people that buy it through this link will get it for free. Really? And then that's going to be a very fun game to play, because it's like, how do you know, right? You're like, wait, am I the 3rd one? Is this the 4th one? I don't know. So I'm not sure how that's going to play out, but it's going to be interesting. So click that bell. And if you see a light review, you guys are exclusive. I'm telling you this right now. So
very nice. Well, thank you for that. And, I guess we should get back on topic. With the GoPro 10, like as far as recording, I haven't lost any footage or anything like that. And I did ultimately have to choose between the GoPro 10 and the Action2. And one of the deciding factors, of course, was the fact, well, I can't return the GoPro anymore because that's done expired. So one's got to go. And I think down the road, maybe when the Action2 drops in price, I might pick it up, because it seemed like with the last update that they were really like, DJI is notorious for putting out crap and then reeling it in and making it work really, really well. What do you think on all that?
Well, I mean, if they kept the same body of the Action 1 and just up the specs, I feel like that would have been enough to get people a little bit like, some people are kind of over GoPro or maybe just looking for something else. I feel like that could have been a smarter move. This was very bold to do the modular design, and they were trying, I don't know what they're trying to do, to be honest. It's an interesting idea, but As far as the picture, I can't really say I can't say I like this one better, although adding those, UV filters and stuff made it really cool as far as like, on a skateboard or something like that. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like this whole thing right here sucks. And
Yeah.
I hate that you have an SD card here and onboard memory. I mean, onboard memory is great, but it sucks that like you put it together and then, or you put it on your computer and it's like, wait, which ones are just on this, which ones are just on this. And you have to go and it's just the workflow sucks. And having to buy, I just bought the standard one. I didn't buy the one with the front screen. And it's annoying that you have to pay extra money to have a front facing screen, and you get that. I mean, the prices are pretty much identical when you have the front screen and you get the GoPro that has it all in there, but it's just nice that it's all there,
Right. And one of the things I pointed out with the Action2 was I like the modular design because I could put it on that little clip on my chest and hardly nobody would see it. But once I did that, true. Once I did that though, my audio was peaking so bad, like I'm just screaming into it. And then everybody else was like just garbage. And I was like,
is that you on a roller coaster?
Actually, it was like one of those, I said, it was like, when you come back on the thing, if you're sitting in the back, you get enough curve in the back that your butt actually comes out the seat and you fall forward on the harness. And when that happened to me, I was like, oh shit. And that's clear as day in the, in the video. But this was like something that I pointed out in my reviews of the Action2 was it's great to have the little modular thing. And that's how they sell it because they're probably trying to compare with the Insta, you know what I mean? The Insta camera. But when you put that together, or, well, I mean, as far as like coming apart, the 360.
Oh, yeah. The I don't have that one.
And the thing that cracks me up though is put the Action2 together, and then take your original Osmo Action and put them together. And the Action2 is actually bigger than the Osmo Action when it's put together.
Yeah, when it's
and I was like, so if you need the second battery and you need to have that external card and you need that second screen, you are actually bigger than what you had before, and you're still 4K resolution. I think they missed the boat with the resolution, but with the way that thing overheats, there's no way that it would be able to handle the higher resolutions. I mean, it's in my opinion.
At the end of the day, I don't want people to think that like I have some kind of sponsorship with GoPro because I don't. I've never even had any contact with anyone that works there. I mean, I would love to. That'd be awesome. Send me the 11. I feel like I know what it's going to be. It's going to be this exact same body, but with maybe a little bit, maybe a different color there. But at the end of the day, I have both. I will pick this up 99 times out of 100. And then this one, maybe if I was going to shoot something with it, just because I'm not, it's just, there's nothing inspiring about this camera. Like, it's so cool. And the first time I got it, I was getting all this footage, and then I'd watch it back and be like, that's all right. The Insta360 1X2 I just got, and there's something inspiring about that. Like, it's one of those things that you connect to the app, you look at things in 360 while you're holding it out there, and then you have these cool little tricks that you can do. Like, that's inspiring. There's just nothing inspiring about this. I don't know what it is. I wish I could articulate what it is about this that it's missing, but I don't know. Otherwise, I'd be making the big bucks.
Right. And it's like DJI, because everybody was complaining on, I guess, the Osmo Action, and I had the Osmo Pocket as well. Like, it's just a little tight. And it's like DJI goes, okay, you want wide? Here, take wide. And it's just, you know what I mean? We're not going to shove it to you. We're going to turn it sideways, and they just made this huge lens that just like engulfs the whole planet. And it's just, but us as creators, we're just never happy. We're the biggest complainers ever.
No, listen, I want to be the creator that doesn't get jaded, because I watch that happen so much. My favorite YouTubers, I watch those people, and it's like they have this really cool product, and it's like, okay, they have an update to it, and they're like, oh, it's not that much of an update. Who cares? Whatever. And it's like the fact that they can update this, at all is amazing. Like that's cool that they're doing that, and that the amount of money that goes into R&D and advertising and all that stuff, like people don't consider all of that. And so to me, I want to be that reviewer that goes, wow, they made it that much better. I mean, hey, listen, it might not be the coolest thing to you, but it is pretty awesome that they can make this back screen work a little bit better than it did, or, you know, get more efficiency out of the battery. Like that means they're still continuing, like they have passion for their product and for their customers. You know, they don't have to do that, but they're going to. So yeah, I just, and I'm not jaded about this. I just feel like they missed the mark. I feel like they could have done something revolutionary. Sorry if I keep I think I have a good, interesting focus on it. I might like thumbnail type of focus going on.
Yeah, right. Everybody. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, they just
gotten into those yet.
Are those thumbnails? Yeah, I have this camera, this 16 millimeter Sigma lens. It's one of the cheaper lenses you can get for Sony, and I have this. I don't know if you saw my UV filter. I love this thing. This thing you can just change right there.
I watched that video.
That it was one of those videos. I was like, when they asked me to do it, I'm like, filter video? Nah, I don't use filters. And then I put it on. I was like, this thing is gonna change my life. I love it.
All right, we got a question finally. Somebody asking something. Tom's asking, what is the best camera for the price? I'll let you go, Danny. You're the expert.
Ooh, I would tell for the price. Nah, see, that's very tricky, because when you say what's the best camera, if you're saying what's the best action camera, or what's the best bigger camera, or what's the best, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
a lot of time
camera, since we're talking, you know, about
yeah,
and the GoPro.
But even that is, you know, like the Go 2 is actually really priced well, and it's a nice little camera. So like for little vacations when you don't want to get too worked up over your camera, you have this little guy that's always fun to take out and get cool shots, put it in your mouth, get that POV shot. I would say,
sorry.
Oh, under $400.
Yeah, under 400. Now, Tom, can you specify? Are you talking about action cameras or just cameras?
I think you're right. We're talking about action cameras. He's probably talking about action cameras. What is the USD price for the GoPro? I'm sorry, I'm in Australia. Australia, mate.
This is what I say if you're going under $400. The OG Osmo Action. In the US, I think it's like $499 or $449, something like that. I can try to look it up real quick.
I'm also looking it up.
You have probably faster internet. $499 is what I see on B&H Photo.
Okay, if you bought it, this is the cool part, is if you buy it with that subscription, which it's such a no-brainer to do, it's $349. So $350, and you get that when you're, you know, you get what do you save? You save a bunch of money on accessories, like 30% or something on accessories with that subscription, and also you get like a replacement if you like a no questions asked. If something happens, if you crack your screen or whatever, they will replace it. Like that's ridiculous. That's such a good deal.
Yeah, and Tom's just saying for a vlog, so. GoPro
I would say 10. I would say the 10. Listen, the 9's a great camera too, and I still use the 9. The 10 I think has a better color to it, with that natural color. The video I'm putting out today, I use the 10 in a very windy condition with that foam, like the foam housing, for a $5 foam housing, and then you turn the wind reduction just completely off on here, and it sounds great. And I don't have to worry about, you know, the media mods and whether everything's connected right, and the fact that that's going to take more battery. The foam is really good, and it sounds like the onboard mics sound great if there's not wind, you know, knocking it off. So it's perfect to have that foam housing on it, and I think that's perfect for vlogging, because you could see yourself, and you you know, you can have a bunch of extra batteries so that if you need to change it out, obviously people get mad that it does overheat in certain conditions. And how, if you have this at 5K, 60 frames per second, a lot of times you don't need that. Just 4K, 60, 4K, 30, and you won't see any overheating. So that's what I would say at this point. I would say this is what I use it for. There you go.
Absolutely.
I've not used your Action 1. I have not used that yet.
You haven't used the original Osmo Action?
I have not.
Oh man. Borrow one from a buddy and just try it out. You'll be surprised. But now we also have it's Van Goo Porsche Van Gui. I'm sorry. I lived in Mississippi for 20 years. I'm terrible with pronunciation. I can say y'all, but he wants to know.
Porsche.
Oh yeah, that's right. He goes, I have a Hero 8 and it's doing the job. What do you think about the Hero 8? And
I preferred the 7 over the 8, and the only reason, I'm not saying it's the 8's obviously got some better specs to it, but I liked the fact that you could change the lens out. So if you did scratch it, and I did scratch my 7 lens, it was, you know, you could just buy a new one super cheap and then pop it on there, because the 8 didn't have that. It was like all built into it. And they obviously went back to that, you know, interchangeable thing. So other than that, quality wise, the 8's better than the 7. 8's great. 8's, yeah. And I've used the 7 on some projects that you would have thought was the 10, and you wouldn't know that it was the 7. But it all boils down. I like the front screen, and I like the mounts built into it. You don't need an external case for having a selfie stick. Sorry, I'm talking fast because it's hot here and I have my aircon on and it's like freezing. So I'm like actually a little bit cold. So I need to slow down that fan.
Do what you gotta do. See, I have the 8 as well, and same complaint. I never had any issues with the camera, but I was filming something outside with the kids and I'd set it on the hood of the car and it got bumped and it rolled off the hood and bam, broke the front glass. So now you're supposed to send it back to GoPro. But I found a company, I don't know if you've heard of them, they're called Camera Butter. And what they do is they actually cut the glass out that's tempered for the Hero 8s. And you can order the glass itself, and it's already got the pre-sticky on it and everything. So you just pick all the glass out and clean it with alcohol, and you just slide the new glass in.
Oh,
well, I actually made a video on how to do that too.
Oh, cool. Yeah, sorry. The 7 Black was the only one with the removable lenses. Yeah, you're right. But the even the 5, because I have I guess all the black ones where it was at. Because I have the 5 and you can change that lens out as well.
Now, since we were pretty unanimous on Action 2 over the GoPro 10.
Wait. I want to give it I'm going to give it one more chance. All right. I'm going to. More. But wait, there's more. Ahead. No, I'm when I get those new accessories, I'm going to make a video that's like, I'm just taking this out to make a vlog, and I want to see what it's like. Because only real reason I've used this is to compare it or just check out new things. But I want to just take it out and go, this is all I'm shooting with. Let's see what it's like. And maybe my mind will get changed. I don't know.
Yeah. But my strategy for the Action 2 is I'm going to wait like a year and wait for it to go on sale. And when it gets down to a more reasonable price, I'm going to order the one without the screen, because I had the front facing screen, and to me, it just wasn't worth it, because especially for the price. I mean, you get the 3 extra mics, but like I said, with the 3 extra mics, if the wind blows from the right, you go to mono on the left, and it's like, holy cow, how can I deal with just having, you know, you're listening to it on your headphones and this one cuts out and you just have sound on this side. And I'm like, so aggravating. So if they drop it down to like the 200 mark, or like the Osmo, you know, with the original Osmo Action, they get down to 199. And this was what like made DJI look really bad, in my opinion, is you could get the Osmo Action. I bought mine secondhand for $185, but you could get it like cheap. The Action 2 comes out and everybody loved it so much that DJI decided to raise the price of the Osmo Action back up to like $300 or $400. They jacked the price back up.
Interesting.
Because nobody, it was like to try to force them to just go ahead and buy the Action 2. but just odd.
I think these headphones are Audio Technica, I believe. ATH M20X. Not super expensive, but also not like probably around the $50 range, maybe. One of those I just bought because I needed them. And then I was like, you know what? These are great. I like them.
Now, I don't know if anybody in here has heard of Fishy Comics. He's the GoPro loves him, but he is like if there's something wrong with the camera, he'll find it and usually find out how to fix it. He's like the firmware guru. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, cool.
If you're having issues with this, he's going to show you how to get back to this, and usually explain to you how and why and where. He's just very knowledgeable. You know, he's had a channel for a while. He's up in New York, but good guy for sure. And
that's nice. I did a video where it was like, you know, where did the plus sign go to add new presets? You know, I think that was the title, or like I found it or whatever, and showed where it was on the, you know, because they did a firmware update. And someone commented like, so where is it? I'm like, did you even watch it? Like the video was like a minute long. I'm like, did you even watch that video? Like I'd show you where it is. Yeah. I gotta love the comments.
Now that you're like, you know, I don't want to say a guru, but a lot of your content is based around the Hero 10 and accessories and stuff like this. For, you know, say like Tom's sake, if he's got a $400 budget and he goes and gets the GoPro 10, other than not getting the media mod and getting the foam, I forgot what they call it exactly, but the foam wrap that muffles
foam
the sound.
Or foam cage or something. Yeah. It's
right.
called the Wind Slayer is what it's called.
Yeah, the Wind Slayer. That's it. What would you recommend to Tom as far as accessory wise, like, you know, what kind of grip, or, you know what I mean? Like I just got the Ulanzi version of Snap Mount.
Yeah, they discontinued that, by the way.
Oh, did they? Well, Snap Mount wouldn't give me one. So I was like, well, I'm not going to buy it then. I'll just go to Ulanzi. But
yeah, well, Snap Mount, I mean, I had to write to Snap Mount and I was like, hey, I would love this. I'd love to review it if you could send it. And so they did send it to me, which is great. And, but then Ulanzi sent me theirs and I wrote to Snap Mount. It's like, hey, listen, you know, like I don't really make any money off of that. Like I don't even have affiliates from Snap Mount or anything like that. But I was just like it felt weird because I think I watched some Instagram videos with Ulanzi's version, and I watched like people in the comments like, you know, you stole this from Snap Mount. I could just see that there was some kind of moral problem with it. So I wrote to Snap Mount. I was like, hey, listen, they're sending me this. It's not as good of quality as Snap Mounts because Snap Mounts are a little bit stronger.
As expected, yeah.
I mean, you're paying twice the price. Yeah. But so I was just like, listen, I mean, they sent it to me. My channel is about reviewing products. I feel obligated to do it, but I'm not sure if it's a good idea. And they're like, listen, we have talked to our lawyers. We're getting them to remove it from Amazon. And I guess they got it to remove it from their website altogether. So I was looking back into making that review and I noticed when I looked on their website, it was gone. So I wrote to them. I was like, hey, is this still there? They're like, no, we're not selling that anymore. You could keep it though. I'm like, all right. I'm glad I waited.
Now I don't have to put my subs through that, right?
Yeah, I just didn't want people to call me out on that. Like, you know, it was a complete, you know, patent infringement. Like,
right. And that's the line that you have to learn to walk. You know, if you're going to be on YouTube selling products, you know, it's like people send you products because they want you to sell products. So they're trying to like obligate you because you got this expensive thing for free, but you don't want to betray your subs. So how do you walk that line to where you tell the truth about it, but you're not so blatant and harsh about it that the brands are like, well, this dude's just an a-hole and, you know, we're not going to send him anything. Because I mean, the whole point is to make, you know, build your fan base, and you want to have their trust. You don't want to betray the people who've invest their time in you, you know?
Well, I mean, it might sound cheesy, but it's just like, you know, you kind of you got to do the right thing. Sometimes it's not always the easiest thing, but that'll prevail over anything else. But I think that it's, you know, if a product comes in that sucks, and that's happened before, like someone sent me a GoPro knockoff. Yeah, that lamp looks awesome, by the way. And it was the GoPro knockoff thing. Actually, it looked more like the Action2, to be honest. And this was a while back, and it was so bad, even though it said like stabilization and 4K video. It was so bad. I wrote to the company. I was like, listen, this is not good. And they're like, you know what? We'll send you a box to just send it back to us. Like, don't worry. Don't make the review. So I was like, okay. You know, I did feel obligated to maybe make the review just to say that don't buy this. But at the same time, they sent it to me. So as long as I didn't, you know, I give them my feedback, and then they can fix it on their side and do what they need to do. So yeah, I don't review everything that comes my way that's terrible and just be like, hey, this is great, even though it's terrible. I try to find, you know, there is some things that are like, you know, you give it the benefit of the doubt, or you've kind of find, okay, why would it be priced this way? Okay, because of this, or this is an actual, like, maybe everything else sucks, but this one feature makes it worthwhile. You know what I mean? Like something like that. You try to find some good in it, or something that some people might like about it.
when it's bad, I don't say it's bad. I'll just show the product and how to use it and leave it at that and let them make their own call. Like, I'm not going to influence you to buy this thing. I'm just going to show it to you and show you the footage, and you do what you want with that. You know what I mean?
That is the best approach. Yeah. When you can just say, hey, look, I'm going to let this speak for itself. And if you like this, if this is something you want, you know, then you know where to get it.
Ohio Fred said, and I'll show it real quick. He said, wouldn't it be interesting? My screen.
What's up, Corbin?
Wouldn't it be interesting to know the return rate of the Action2? Well, Fred, let me tell you, I'm heavy deep in the Amazon influencer program, and I've sold probably 4 or 5 Action2s, and none of those have been returned. But like the OM5, every single one that I sold has been returned.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And I made a video about the OM5 and how it sucks. And of course, you got the DJI diehards that are just like, oh no, it's great. You just don't know what you're doing.
Screw him, but I'm going to use this link anyways.
It's like, I've never argued that I'm an idiot, but I know it sucks. Okay. So, and then having my own data, you know, like saying, okay, well, I sold 5 of them in the last couple of months, and now I have 5 returns for the OM5. You tell me. Yeah. And, but anyway, with Fish is asking this question. The thumb bolt for the media module, have you found or find the longest one of GoPro is hard to tighten down at times?
There is a longer one that works better. There's one that has more of a round instead of like the design that's like kind of like has like little points to it. And that's way easier to twist and tighten. There are longer ones. I believe HSU has some, hsushop.com and Tellison. Use the coupon code Danny Black for 10% off.
That's right. Hey, plug it, man.
Shout out to Corbin, by the way. If you like GoPro stuff, and like check out his channel. He's got like over 10,000 subs now.
Dang,
and
Corbin,
climbing.
Thank you, Corbin.
And he was in the Star Time Lapse Challenge video. I think Corbin, were you second or third place or something like that? Steve, you were 4th, right?
I was last, man. Mine was.
Oh, was yours last?
I had like.
Oh, it was Corbin that was 4th place, I believe.
I had like the city lights and stuff. I had all the airplanes buzzing through.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean. It was just like
you were at last.
Near Orlando, man. It's like
you were at last. That was a good contest, and I need to push the hyperlapse one a little bit more. I've just been really busy with other stuff, but because I just need to remind people to do it, and that's why I haven't really announced like when it's going to be happening. I think I've only had like 4 submissions so far, and but I know a lot of people that are like, I want to do it. I just haven't done it yet, and so it's one of those things. Yeah, Corbin. Oh, Corbin was 3rd. Wait. Oh yeah, tied for 3rd and 4th. That's right. But yeah, check out his channel.
Nobody else go get in Danny Black's hyperlapse challenge because I'm in that one too. And
you'd be winning right now. I think Corbin did that one too, though. But Corbin did it from like was the boat like a boat like yeah. Was it the boat?
And I see Tom. Yeah. Tom, thank you so very much. Not expected, but very much appreciated for sure. And we have Scott's review. He's got a question here.
Oh, cool, Scott.
Says, I'm a little late here, but one thing I like about the update on the Action is when you wear it on the chest mount, the footage is a lot better now than the that the
Yeah,
horizon is leveled.
at 4K 60, the 45-degree, that is better. I will say that it does look a lot better. Yeah.
Corbin, it had to be way better than my my overnight hyperlapse. That's and
Well,
I can't tell you how many nights I climbed on the roof, like boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean?
Wait. I think Corbin, you didn't. What it was, I now remember. It's actually not a hyperlapse. You sent me a time lapse that moves, like a moving time lapse. So that's not technically a hyperlapse.
A
But I
motion
didn't tell you about it. I was just but yeah, you need to be moving. That Insta360 1X2 looks like one of the coolest things I've seen for a hyperlapse. Like, and there's just like a setting you could put it on where it just will, if you walk through an area, it'll like just give you the hyperlapse and then like stop at a certain spot and focus on it and then keep going. And it's like, it's really nice.
Yeah. Now you're with the Action2 being small, because your wife is a YouTuber as well, and she does the whole hula hoop thing. And
she's getting back into it. She took like a long time off because she was like, she thought Instagram was a better bet. It wasn't.
No.
But she's realized that. She's back to YouTube.
But so would you suggest, like, who would you?
Were you listening to us?
Sorry.
Have her come in.
Hey, they want to say hi.
We want to meet Mrs. Black.
We were just talking about you, and that was just ironic. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
You look right here.
Oh, there.
Danny Black's wife. She has a cool channel based with hula hooping, and she does all those like triple hoop tricks and stuff.
Yeah, triple hoops, and she can't hear you, but
I can't even do one, but it's it's pretty cool. So if you or your kids or anybody's into hula hooping, go check her out for sure.
Yeah, check her out. Hip hoop hooray! Did you need something?
No.
Oh,
Just wondering who you're talking
to.
Oh,
who is he talking to?
Sorry. Bye.
See, she doesn't even know when I live stream. But her ears were burning.
Right? That's funny how that works. When I'm driving around, every time I cross like the same point, it's like my wife has a radar and it just goes off and she calls me. I'm like, how did you know? She's like, I always know. Or the GPS on my phone's turned on and she won't tell me. I don't know.
She's got to find my friends on.
Right. So what I was getting to is, with your wife doing the hula hoop, the Action2 would probably be pretty good for her because of the smaller form factor.
Yeah.
Who would you recommend that Action2 for? You know what I mean? What?
I'm still working on that.
Nobody.
I'm still working on that. Like, I want to recommend it to someone. I just don't know who, like, because like I said, the workflow, I could see my wife. She could be like, all right, got this little camera and now I got to hook it up to the app or how do I get it onto the computer? Like she's not like technology. Like she knows some tech stuff, but like, it's just trickier than just having a GoPro and then just taking the card out, putting it in. And then also, yeah, if I was going to say, like, I'd recommend it to maybe some people like that do fishing vlogs, because it'd be nice and light. Like you could put on, a lot of times they put it on the reel or on the chest mount, like you said, but even that, if you had just this, that only lasts for like what, 20 to 30 minutes by itself. And then you need to plug it in or have it on this mount, which makes it a little bit bigger than the GoPro. So I don't know. I don't know.
I can see Tom is happily married because he just says she knows everything.
They do. They do.
My Sea Prince. Hello, my Sea Prince. Says the Action. You reading this one, Danny?
7.4. It's a small. Let's see. Let's look it up. ACT 7.4A. Action camera. It's Cam Park.
The Firefly ASE.
Okay. I actually think I reviewed this one, to be honest. Cam Park. And I did a review of this. And it like I said, it's okay. I actually gave it away. I did a giveaway for that one. And I would say for $31, yeah, use it at 1080p with the microphone. I've been thinking of getting the Firefly 8 SE. Let's look that one up.
I'm pulling it up right now. I'm trying to learn how to do this whole share screen thing.
Careful what you share.
I know. My wife, she'll be so mad at me. There we go.
Yep.
Oops, I had it.
Firefly.
There you go.
What is this Great Britain price?
That kind of looks like an Acaso, huh?
I would just say, like, from the ones that I've gotten where it looks like you're like, wow, that's cool. And it's got HDMI out and it does all this stuff. Just, I think, I want to say from the ones I've tried, I would love nothing more than to get one of those awesome, like, cheap cameras that are just like really compete with this, but I haven't. And yeah.
What I found with like the Acasos and some of the other cheaper like 4K, like they even have an 8K one out, like camera. And one of the things that I find is, even like with the little cheap camcorders that shoot 4K is, they do 4K and they do 8K, but the bit rate is so low that the picture is just horrible. It's like it stutters. It's not stabilized. It's washed out.
Even though it says it's stabilized, it's not.
There
has been. I mean, for the price though. So if you're looking at that price, I would say it's better to like even you could get like a $200 like Hero 9, and that might be a better option. I do want to read this comment. The next one down. Action2 is more of a travel cam that you can use with the chest mount. Record there or take it off and grab a photo back in the mount. Yeah, I mean, but you could do that as well with a GoPro. As far as I mean, you're right. It could be more of a travel camera. I think of it more like, I'm running low on my battery on my GoPro. Okay, cool. I have like 5 of them. Pop the next one in, and then they're also charging, while I'm using this. Now with this, it's like, okay, running low on the battery in this one, pop it on that, gives some extra juice. It also charges it up. That's great. But, and I know you can plug this in and keep it charging. It just seems like a lot more to travel with. I'm not trying to hate on it. I'm trying to find a reason to like it, to be honest. I really am. So
they just barely missed the mark. You know what I mean? It's the only 2 gains that you get with the Action2, like I said, over the original Osmo Action, is it breaks in 2 and you get double the frame rates. And I haven't, other than that, I'm sure Scott would know. Scott has a great channel. If you haven't seen Scott's channel, you should check him out. Scott, what do you think DJI improved over the Osmo Action with the Action2? Let us know real quick. He's got another question up here.
Oh, it looks like the Pocket. This one.
Yeah, there's a good friend of mine. He's in Australia also. It's called the How To Guy. Have you ever heard of him, Danny?
No, but I would love to check it out.
Yeah, he does a lot of he's right now doing a lot of stuff on the Mavic 3, but he gets stuff from Fimi, and he just did a review on the Fimi Palm 2 Pro. I watched it this morning.
Gear.
And it's actually pretty good. It's got a smaller sensor than what the DJI Pocket 2 has, but the picture quality didn't look bad. Let me see if I can find his channel real quick.
Interesting. I have a connection with Gear. I could try to get it. They sent me that auction gimbal, like the gimbal for the phone, which is actually a pretty good gimbal. If you needed a gimbal for the phone, using the 13 Pro, one of the things was like, this is what it looks like handheld, and this is what it looks like with the gimbal. But the 13 Pro has such good stabilization. I was like, there wasn't that much of a difference. I was like, oh, maybe not everybody has a 13 Pro, so I just didn't want to put that in there. Is
I
that
hope he doesn't
Alabama or
mind.
is that Braves that you got on your head?
This is Atlanta Braves, no mullet. The Atlanta has like the little thing off the
Oh,
top there. It's a kind of interesting story about this. Back in the day, we went to a Chris Stapleton concert, and it was at Turner Field. The last season that the Braves played at Turner Field, and we went for Chris Stapleton. And I was sitting there, and I've got a big melon. My head's huge, even with no hair. And I always have hats, and they always look like Tiny Tim's hat or like my little brother's hat. And I actually found one that fits, and I just wear the crap out of it because it actually goes over my head. But that's the quick story.
I'm a hat wearer too. But I got hair, but I just I've always been a hat wearer. I don't know. Makes me feel more comfortable. Scott Reviews, I'm subscribing to you right now, buddy. And
This
who's
is
the other one that was on there? That was
see, I don't know how well this is going to come through, but this is How To Guy, and he's actually using the Femi Palm right here, and it's not terrible. You know what I mean? But if you want to see that review, just look up the How To Guy. I think he's the only one. So
interesting.
But he's a cool guy.
I'll write that down. It's a hefty little price tag there. Well, no, sorry, that's Australian price, $329 dues.
Yeah, I think it's only $199, $200.
Interesting. All right. I will I'll contact them and see if they send it.
Now PV's channel, they say they have the GoPro Hero 7, and my opinion, I never owned the 7. I wish I did. But I think the 7, through like the lineage of GoPro overall, is probably one of the best GoPros they made. The only way the 10 beats it is because with the GP2 processor getting twice the frame rates in the 5.3K. If it wasn't for that, I would just say 7 all day.
I you know what I use so much though with the 9 and the 10 was the custom presets to just be able to click on them, and you can create those custom presets. So you have like your nighttime shot, and on the 7, it was annoying to have to go through and change that every time. That was a big change to me, but you're right. Hypersmooth was just revolutionary. As soon as you like look back at the footage, you're like, what? How is that happening?
I know, right? Have you guys ever turned Hypersmooth off with the GoPro Hero 10 and used Real Steady to stabilize the footage? I know a lot of people using the Hero 10 for drone and FPV do that. I myself haven't yet. I haven't either. Danny?
I have not. No. I haven't. I mean, I don't have an FPV drone. One of those I wanted. I almost bought one, and I was like, do I have the time? It takes time to learn that skill, and I just didn't have the time. Real Steady. I'm looking at that right now. It's by GoPro. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Well, what it does is it uses the GPS data in the camera to stabilize your footage. Basically, like when you record it, it's all shaky, and then you put it through the app, and it uses the behind the scenes data to stabilize the footage. And my experience with that kind of stuff is it works great, but if you're trying to be smooth, and it looks great, but if you're shaking a lot, it'll crop in to compensate for all that movement. So the more movement, the more it crops in. So that's just something that you have to be aware of. Don't think that it's just a free for all, that you can do jumping jacks and it's going to look like butter, because it ain't going to happen. Or if it does, all they're going to see is your nose because the crop factor. But I don't know that for a fact. I've never used the GoPro version. So, and here we go with Tom. What is the difference between the 9 and the 10? Well, I'll take the easy part of this, and then I'll pass it to Danny. The 9 has the 9 has double frame rates as to what the 10 had, and the 10 has double what the 9 did as far as frame rates go. And then the Hero 10 also has the new processor. It's a GP2 processor that's supposed to be twice as fast as the GP1. Danny?
Yeah, what you said is true. Is it enough? In the video I did where it was like 9 versus 10, my conclusion was if you have the 9, you don't need to go, like the 10 is not a revolutionary update for you to go, I need the 10. So if you have the 9, you should be happy with the 9. If you're looking to buy the newest GoPro, obviously you get the 10. Or if you're looking to just get a new GoPro, go with the 10. I wouldn't go with the 9 just because, you know, with that processing chip. And the touchscreen is noticeably better. I didn't really have a big problem with the 9 because I knew how to touch it. I knew how to touch it to make it feel good. And you just had to, you know, the problem with people had with, you know, with their phones, they just, you know, they lightly hold it on one hand and then, you know, because it's not an action phone, right? It's not meant to, this has like a lot harder of glass for those crazy, like, you know, if you fall down a rock or climbing wall or something. So you need to have a little bit more force as you're touching, like, or more resistance with this hand, you know? So if you're like this one hand, or if it's sitting on your desk and you're trying to do it, it's like not going to work. You need just a little bit more.
A little more pressure on it, huh? And then Corbin came back and he says he's seen people use Real Steady for non-FPV and sometimes it turns out better. So
that'd be interesting. Corbin, do you use that Real Steady? You have to check out some of his videos, Steve. He's got, I did a reaction video to one of the ones he's the one that has like it was like he was wakeboarding on glass. It looked like glass. And it was interesting. He did how he did that. He did some color grading and all that stuff. And that was really interesting. I like that video.
I just subbed. It's funny because I went in my search bar and I typed Corbin and Blanton. I think that's how you say it. And it said it like auto-filled with wakeboarding. So apparently that's a pretty good video because it was trying to send me there. Tom is asking, what mic? You're not going to believe it. This is a comic cup, and it is the V30 Pro. So it's a powered mic, though. It's got like, I got it on plus 10 dB right now. Just a cheap mic that I got for free to do a review on that nobody watched. So cool. That's why I feel bad trying to sell my YouTube channel. You know, it's like, it's really been picking up momentum and getting better, you know, but it's like, and my biggest hurdle for YouTube is like my camera presence, you know, is like how to actually talk to the camera and interact with the camera and trying to be yourself. And, you know, you learn that you have to kind of over exaggerate things to, you know, to seem normal to people when they watch. But
I think you're overthinking it, dude. To be honest, so? I watch your channel and I like the way you are. I like that you're just like, I'm a little bit more, I'm an entertainer. Like my job is actually, I'm a musician. So I have that like stage presence feel where I have to like be moving or have to be doing something, like even on this live stream, like it's hard for me to have any dead air. So I love your relaxed demeanor about things like, hey, check out this product. It's really cool. There's a niche for that. There's a lot of people that probably watch my videos and they're like, hate who I am. And they would look for someone like you to just explain it in a calm fashion, I guess, you know, it's just the way it is.
We have Micey Prince. He says, sorry about that, Danny. He says, I haven't got a drone, but I put a ACT-74A on the end of a 25-foot willow branch. Much amusement. Filmed, came out good. Is that on your channel, Micey Prince?
That's cool.
And let's see. Here's Corbin again.
I haven't used
Real Steady yet, but I will soon, though. I'm going to rig up my DJI FPV to use my Hero 10 this spring and summer. Looking forward to that. I'm still rocking the Mavic Pro. I got FAA certified, bona fide, and I still have my Mavic from 2017.
Nice. But, I have a Mavic Air. Mavic Air, not the 2, and then a Phantom 4 that just sits and does nothing. The Max Lens mod does not work on the 7.
Now, what do you think of the Max Lens mod as a whole? I haven't stepped up to get it yet.
It's so good.
Is it worth the $99 price tag, or would you get the cheaper one?
The cheaper one is a good option for people that don't have the money but want that Max Lens feel. But the Max Lens mod from GoPro is better than the Telesin one. And I try to make that clear. Like it's better, but at the same, sometimes it looks exactly the same. So there's just certain instances where you're moving the camera where you'll see a little bit more warping on the Telesin one. I love the Max Lens mod. I think it's a great option. However, when they have 5K 60 frames per second super view, with horizon leveling, I believe, or something, or yeah, no, you put the super view on and then you put hyperlapse boost on, and that looks it looks really stable. And I do, because I work on 4K monitors, so I notice a huge difference between 2K and 4K footage. And you know, I would say try that first before you jump onto the max lens mod. But that effect that you get where you like when you do flip it over and it stays in one spot is really cool. I like that a lot.
For sure. Here's a very interesting question. Y'all probably don't want to ask me too many questions because, you know, I usually don't have a filter. But anyway, how did you get into making videos, Steve? It's very simple. I was watching YouTube back in 2017, working my blue collar job, which I still do, but hopefully not forever. But anyway, I'm watching it and I see Ryan's toy review and I see this little boy making $12 to $20 million a year. And I saw FGTV, like all these kids shows, and these people are getting paid vacations. People are sending them stuff for free. And I was like, you know what? I want that life for my kids. You know what I mean? So I started out on a family channel with the goal to give the influencer, like digital nomad type life to my family and children. Because, I mean, if you're going to live life, live it, man. And what better way than to have everybody pay to come and, you know, shoot up video and have a good time. Plus, I've always had a long time fascination with cameras and camera gear and stuff like that. So it just made sense. And, you know, I usually get bored with stuff. And I think my wife probably thought too, like, oh, he's going to do it for a little while, you know, but here we are like 6 channels later. And I think since 2018, I've put out probably around 700 and something videos between the channels. So
nice.
It's just,
then you had a viral video.
Yeah, I had a viral video that wrecked my channel, but that'll be a story for, you know, maybe one day we can get together and do like a tips and tricks for YouTube, or, you know, talk about like you're now starting to experience the snowball effect. I think, you know, you're starting to get to where, you know, it's not as challenging as sub 100, because as you get bigger, things do get easier.
It was not, yeah, and it's a lot of work. And you have to be ready for not a lot of payoff for the first, you know, couple of years, unless you get lucky and maybe you're a bit smart about your content and how you put it out there. But yeah, I see it, Corbin. Thanks for jumping in.
Thank you so much, Corbin. I really appreciate it. That's the 4th donation I've ever received. Or
you
super chat,
get more super chats than I do. Just saying.
It's because I'll split it with you later.
No. It's all good. It's all I'm just saying they like you. It's because of you. Don't change who you are on camera. So, just saying.
Anyway, you have, well, no, I'm not going to change. But if you go back early days and watch some of my earlier videos, you'll know. Yeah. I'm like,
well, there you go. You're growing.
The guy on Ferris Bueller, you know, like Bueller. You know what I mean? Like, no, it was bad. But if you guys have any questions that you want to get into Danny Black, now's the time. I originally planned this stream for about 30 minutes, and I was thinking that I might get like,
oh wow, I just realized what time it is.
And
it's 1:08 p.m.
I know.
Tomorrow.
I know.
February. So, can I tell you something that's awesome that's happening soon?
Let's go.
February 22nd, 2:00, 2022, on a Tuesday. That's amazing. We got to do something. It's a two. How many twos are there?
My lucky numbers are 2. My phone number is. No, I'm kidding. But it's all 2s.
Just type
I can see
2.
Danny. He's like, is he really about to give out his phone number? No.
No, but I was actually mad. I was like, I thought February 2nd. I was like, oh man, if that was on a Tuesday, that'd be amazing. And then I was like, oh wait, there's still the 22nd, which is even better, and that's on a Tuesday.
Hey, if you want to do something with Xander, or if you want to do something with me,
it's gonna be the ultimate Tech Tuesday right there. 2-minute Tuesday. Yeah. Oh, someone just posted your phone number on.
That's my daughter-in-law. But let's read this comment by My C Prince. It's not started uploading yet. Been doing editing, building a batch of 20 videos. I need to balance the mix of niches within the theme of boat life DIY. Mark and
Yeah.
Bell. That'll be a good niche to get into because the whole nomad thing is still quite popular, like with van life and things like that. And yeah, I mean,
it's
you won't
tricky.
catch me on a boat. I spent 15 years on boats. I was a commercial diver, and I avoid the water like the plague. I barely even take a bath anymore. But that's my own personal story, and I'm kidding about the baths. But yeah, I mean, the biggest thing when it seems like you almost have that anxiety to make that first jump. Like a big hurdle for me was, you know, what if my friends see it, or what if I get criticized by people near me, and what if I get trolls and this and that. But eventually your desire to do it and do something different is going to overtake that fear, and you're going to get going. And once you start rolling, you're going to continue rolling because and I'm not trying to be Mr. Philosophical here, but the approach I've taken with YouTube and life in general is, and that's why I work on videos every single day. I mean, you can ask Danny. I join his live stream sometimes at 3:00 in the morning because I'm just up, and that's what I'm doing. But every day that you wait to get started is every day that you have to wait to realize that dream. So if you wait a week to start, reaching your dream is going to be another week away. So you just got to get off your ass and jump and just start doing it, man.
I agree.
Just
and you know what?
Roll with it.
New creators, you're lucky. You're lucky. And this is going to sound like a weird thing to say, but you're so lucky that they took away that thumbs down button. Because, as hard shell as of a person you can be, it sucked to get troll, thumbs downs on videos. It was, and more so, it was just embarrassing. It was embarrassing to my regular viewers. Like, I'm like, if I post a video and you get like 20 up and then 5 down, and it's like, even though that's a good ratio, I guess it's better than the other way, but it messed with myself, and it made me not want to try anything new or try anything. Like if I wanted to do a giveaway, video instead of a live stream, it's like, oh, well, I don't want to get thumbs downs. Like, and it sounds so lame, but that it does mess with you as a creator. It really does. So you're very lucky that they got rid of, like, you didn't have to go through that, and you can just create videos. And like you said, you're going to look back on it a year from now and you're like, I can't believe how bad I was on camera. But where you are now, it's, you like you said, you'll be waiting another year if you don't get into it a year ago,
And I'm even going to give you a preview because I'm just now like getting to where I'm starting. Like, I just got this channel monetized. It took me 2 years. And so I still remember like the early days, and it's like when you start getting trolls or when you get a troll, it's like first thing you do is you get mad and you're like, I worked my butt off on this, and this person is just like throwing it to the side like they're totally insulting me.
Yeah.
And then you go into a phase to where you want to combat the trolls, and you're like, oh no, you never do nothing, you're blah blah blah. And if you're like responding to trolls and stuff, they're winning just because they're getting a rise out of you. So my advice is ignore the trolls, delete their comments, go about your day, because what a troll is that person that never jumped and never got started and never had the balls to start their own journey and their own adventure. So they're going to sit there and try to kick you in yours to drag you down. So ignore those people. They're hopeless souls. You know what I mean? Take advice and listen to people who's done what you want to do. That's what I say.
The other thing with trolls is don't rob your own viewers, your own fans. Don't rob their chance to go after the troll instead of you. Like, if you just let that sit there, and then just, who knows, even a year from when they wrote it, someone else will see that video, they'll look at that, and they'll demolish that troll. But yeah, that's one thing that I kind of hate about the channel growth. It's impossible to keep up with comments unless I go to specific videos and go through the comments. But like, just comments in general on mine, a lot of it is like people are wanting me to be their help desk, the service, customer service for whatever. And as much as I want to help out, it just takes up so much time and just exhausts your brain, because you have to look things up. Oh, does that fit the media mod? Oh, hold on, let me put the media mod on there and put the thing. Nope, it doesn't. Just a little bit too big. It's just like, it's just that extra bit of time that it takes, where it's like, you know, maybe you want to hire somebody to do your comments for you or whatever. I don't know if that's a thing, but it's just like, I kept up so much, and then like I would maybe miss a week, and I'd be like, I can't catch up to this. And then like another week goes by, and it's like, oh nope. And then you're just like, I can't. What do? You know what I mean? It's so hard. I want to.
Yeah. Oh, Ohio Fred, he says he thanks the trolls. That's a good way to kill them with kindness, right?
Absolutely, you could do that. That's very true.
I've been studying YouTube during lockdown. 2,000 plus hours of YouTube educational channels. Learned a lot. Also, how to film, edit, etc. I need to do a few more top-down repair videos to get a balance. And like I said, we're going to shut this down here shortly. I would say 14 minutes tops. What do you think, Danny? Is that good for you?
How about 5 minutes?
Okay, Danny says 5 minutes, so we got 5 minutes. If
I just have to get a video out before before we have to go to dinner somewhere.
Absolutely. So 5 minutes. But this to reflect on my C Prince, what you're saying, I've done the same thing, and my guilty thing is, because you'll go through like these phases to where you just study, and the way that you learn is you try to copy what other people are doing. Like I tried to copy Casey Neistat, I tried to copy Peter Lindgren. Of course, I couldn't, but I tried. And what eventually happens is you learn through copying and emulating, and then what comes out of that is it'll exhaust you. You know what I mean? Oh, and then your own style kind of forms and evolves. And you're just kind of like, screw it. Like, this is who I am. And I just need to get me out there. And it's going to be a win or a loss, So, but it's definitely good to do the education part. A lot of people don't do that. They think they can upload their dog pooping in the backyard and they're going to get 1 million views and be rich and famous. And that's not the case, because viral videos can be just as bad as, they can destroy a channel. Because the way I look at it is, if you're ready for the subs, like the Field of Dreams, if you're ready, they will come. And when your skill level gets there, they will start coming in. Because if you go viral too early and you don't know how to appeal to that new audience, you're going to lose every one of them. And so there's no shortcut. You just got to do it, man.
I also think that YouTube,
big user. Thank you.
I like to think of YouTube as my video game. So I don't play Xbox or PlayStation. This is a game. Like, this is fun. Like, and you're leveling up and you're learning how to beat the next thing to get to the next level, which is like a subscriber milestone or whatever. And, some video gets a lot of views and you're just like, oh, how did that happen? Let me try to replicate that. It's very fun and exciting. To spend your time that way, where it could potentially come back to you, where you get paid for your time, just like a professional gamer that streams on Twitch or whatever.
Right.
I saw that comment. My C Prince. I'm having to look. My last video.
While Danny looks that up, we have my gig user. I'm a regular viewer of his channel. He's a regular viewer of my channel. He's very much so into GoPros, but he also does a lot of repair videos and things with like JBL speakers, like the little pill speakers and stuff. He shows you how to like take them apart and change the batteries and fix them.
Oh, those are so cool.
he likes to do like a lot of the anamorphic stuff, like with the anamorphic lens on the GoPro, and show you like
that's awesome.
The right way. I show you the kind of like how I do it, then go to him and he'll show you like the right way to do it. It's just
I'm the same way. I'm just like the everyman. Like, this is I don't do the surfing, crazy surfing and snowboarding ones. I'm trying to just to clarify, for amusement and to help everyone. I don't usually do this, but just quickly on the pinned comment and above the fold of the description needs link to suggested video. I'm not sure I understand that, because if you click the description, you might have to click, there's a button that says more, ... more. I think you have to click that, and then you could see the links to that. And it's been weird with if you're looking on the app's a bit weird because instead of saying description, there's just like a down arrow, right? You know, you have to hit the down arrow. And then now in the description, it's not the full description. You have to click more. But thanks for pointing that out too, because maybe I should say that it's like instead of just in the description, click that button and this button.
All right. My Sea Prince. The most amazing thing so far has been interacting with
That's
everyone around the world. It's true. I mean, and for some reason, Australia is like taking the world by storm with YouTube right now. It's like I have Danny Black and the How-To Guy and Jason Morris and
Jason Morris. Yeah, Jason Morris lives like really close to me, and we talk on email, but we have never gotten together. We've been talking about it for so long, and we just haven't done it yet. So. I feel like he's just a bit. He's too buff. He's too buff for me. He's a very and tall. He'll make me look like an idiot. One thing. Can I say something about Australia?
Go for it.
And I don't want to get like political and stuff, but what I watch a lot of the stuff from US, like YouTube people from the US, and they always come after Australia. Like they're like, Australia is like this prison state, and it's just like crazy what they're doing to us. And in all honesty, I feel very fortunate to be here through the whole pandemic because especially up in Queensland, it's like different states in America, like California is way different than Florida, and Queensland is like the Florida of Australia. And we've been very open for the longest time. I have only missed like maybe 2 months of gigs just during that first lockdown. And then I've had gigs like every weekend. So it's the hardest part is leaving. Actually, leaving's easy. Coming back is hard. So coming back, they would want you to quarantine for now 7 days, I believe, if you're vaccinated.
Right.
But it's not. I just always see that, and I want to correct that because I feel like it's funny that people think we're in prison, and I feel free to do whatever I want here. To be honest, like it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You heard it from Australia. American living in Australia.
Yeah.
If you're,
the government didn't pay me to say that, by the way.
and if you're just not joining Danny Black, check his channel out. He has a really good channel for GoPros, action cams, accessories. If you look at some of his early videos, he was a cruise ship musician and he traveled the world literally by boat. So very cool guy. And the fact that he took the time to come join little old SteveWB for his first ever live says volumes about this guy. So Danny, we want to thank you so much for coming, and thank you for bringing part of your audience. I wish I had a list of all the ones that came in. We want to thank you for all the super chats. You make an old man feel good, but I'm here to stay. That's for sure. I've made it my dream, and it's going to happen. So
thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Any final words, Danny?
To just say it like this. Let's see. If I was to put this on a scale of which one, I'd be like, the scales would tip like that. It'd be like that. Wouldn't you say? Yeah.
Right. Well, Danny, I hope we can do it again one day. Everybody who stuck it out for this
and we'll get you back on Tech is Hard anytime, man. Tech is Hard podcast, weekly live stream. Not a lot of viewers, but we do what we can. It's just fun. We're having fun over there.
Yeah, we did good today. We maintained between 8 and 12. I was like, dang, that's good for a first, man.
Yeah.
So I'm happy. And it's all because of Danny Black. Mr. Black.
You know that you're still alive, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if this is just like you talking to me.
No, I'm goofing off. That's all. No, I know.
Black.
They're all here. But if you watch his channel, you'll see the Mr. Black.
That's a Simpsons reference too, which is great.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, Danny, I'm going to leave you on for a second. I'm going to end this. Everybody, thank you so much for watching SteveWB. I'm SteveWB, and I'm out. Oh, yeah, I got to hit OK.